Okay, so I got a thermal camera for Christmas. It's a little InfiniRay P2 Pro. It's got a 256 by 192 pixel thermal sensor in it. And so this is the recording of my chiller system that I use for my freeze dryer powering up. So there's me. So I recorded an audio track for this when I was there's my coffee when I was filming it, but then I found out that it doesn't. Oh, there's my coffee again. That it doesn't actually record the audio, only the video, which is not great. So the three temperatures you see on the screen are the one in the center on the crosshairs, and then the highest and the lowest. So I'm connecting up the fan here, so you'll see the fan start to heat up. You'll notice that you can quite clearly see a reflection of me in the metal housing of the chiller. Lots of metals act as like almost perfect IR mirrors, which is interesting. So here I am turning up the throttle on the compressor. And so the compressor is poking out the top there, the thing that's glowing, that's rapidly heating up. It's at 31.2 there. And you'll see through the fan, the radiator. So the radiator is starting to heat up too. And some pipes on the left there. And on the left of the circular fan hole. You also see all the black stuff everywhere. That's the cold stuff getting colder. So the black blob you see to the lower left of the circular fan is, it's just lit up 16.7. That's the thermal expansion valve, so theoretically that's the coldest part of the system. You'll also see that you see some wires coming out of the top near the compressor there that's at 37.6. That's the power wires, so they are connecting from the little control board over to the compressor, the three-phase motor controller wires. So it looks pretty cool, I reckon. You can see the thermodynamics of the system pretty clearly. It's taken hot from the cold side and putting it out the radiator. Um, After a little while, the recording it stops recording video. There's several issues with various apps you can use to interface to the cameras. And they're all sort of variously broken in different ways. Some of them save images with terrible quality. Some of them just, the image seizes after a while. I'm hoping the software catches up with the hardware at some point because the hardware is incredible. So the camera itself and a macro lens attachment was 380 Australian delivered, which is just truly incredible stuff. So the low resolution of the thermal sensor isn't as big a deal as you might think. Still very impressive. And the sensitivity is amazing. You can hold your hand on something and then take your hand away and you'll see your hand having heated up the surface. Yeah, and these ones, because they come from China, they're not restricted by the ITAR, so they can do 25 frames a second rather than the less than 9 frames a second that the ones from the US can do legally. But yeah, there's so much cool stuff to look at thermally. Um, I've recorded a few other videos and I'll put them up on YouTube because they're fun to watch, I reckon. It's weird here that you can see that the inlet to the compressor is ostensibly colder than the thermal expansion valve. And you'll also note that the sort of black tangle of coolant wire pipes coming out of the heat exchanger on the left-hand side is intermittently visible as it sort of snakes around below the fan over into the esky on the right-hand side. And that's where I've wrapped some insulation foam around the pipe. Okay, that's the end of the video.